How's it going? Welcome to Week 3 NFL Review. I'm Cole Sharf, and my co-host couldn't be with me tonight. He had some stuff come up, but that's okay. We'll run through this real quick, give you guys my thoughts on Week 3, as well as what I think is going to happen with tonight's game and other games going on in Week 4. With the first game, we'll talk about the Bears and the Cardinals. The Cardinals were winning the whole game. The Bears ended up winning 16-14. Khalil Mack is a bad man, just constantly making plays. The dude's got more stats than the whole Raiders defense. Dude's a savage. Can't say nothing else but that. I think the Bears got a good squad if Trubisky can get more consistent on his throws. And I think they can make a run with that defense. They got some good pass rush. And they got a Husker, Prince Amukamara, who's one of my favorite players because obviously you see the N over here. And I'm a little biased to any Husker in the NFL, but that's okay. Go Big Red. The Patriots and the Lions shocked me, 26-10. The Lions beat the Patriots on primetime football. And if you've seen Week 1, my Jets dominated the Lions, and now the Lions dominated the Patriots. I think they'll be a completely different team when they get Josh Gordon back. I just feel like Josh Gordon's going to help Tom Brady out. Everybody remembers what he did when he had Randy Moss, so God only knows what he's going to do if he can get a healthy and consistent Josh Gordon the way he has been when he's been on the field. That'll be dangerous. I don't know why Cleveland, out of all 31 other teams, they decided to trade him to the Patriots. It makes no sense to me, but those guys always trade with each other, so it is what it is. I just feel like they should have traded him to other people. Then you got the Jets and the Browns on Thursday. We had a 14-point lead. 14-3 at halftime. We ended up just getting our asses kicked when they bring Baker Mayfield in the game. That dude just dominated, shredded us. Looks like a fucking superstar. Obviously, he's going to have ups and downs, but we need to get it together. 3 games in 11 days. I'm not want to make excuses, but no other team's ever done that in NFL history. So I feel like that's my daughter in the background making noise. She's chipping in her 2 cents. But, yeah, I just feel like 3 games in 11 days was too much. We'll see what we can do against the Jaguars this week on the road with a full week of preparation. And then we got the Broncos week 4, so that'll be crazy. So we'll see. Upset of the week. Obviously, they were 18-point underdogs going into this game. The Bills fucking annihilated the Vikings 27-6. They look like they could win the best team in football when you do that to the Vikings, considering the Vikings are supposed to be the Vikings, Super Bowl contenders, and then they get destroyed by a team that got their ass kicked the first 2 weeks of the season. I'm going to take a couple extra shots because Anthony's not here, so the Bills look like shit week 1 and 2, and then they come out and fucking dominate against the Vikings week 3. So that's what I mean. Any given Sunday when it's the NFL, that's the way it goes. I don't know if they'll keep it up. Hopefully not. The one good thing about our division is everybody's 1 and 2 except for the Dolphins. They're surprising the world with what they're doing right now because my brother's a diehard Dolphins fan. So basically I grew up with a Bills fan my whole life and a Dolphins fan. We stayed away from Patriots fans, but you can imagine us 3 going at it twice a year constantly is just, crazy because we play each other twice a year. We're rivals and in the same division. So right now, in my opinion, that division's up for grabs. But, yeah, that was the shocker to me was Bills versus Vikings. Bills dominated 27-6. The Vikings didn't get on the board until the last, 5 minutes into the game. So, hey, we'll see what happens this week with Buffalo. We'll see what happens tonight with Minnesota against the Rams. The Rams got 2 of their starting corners out, so I think that'll give them a chance to spread the ball out and get back to what they do. The Giants beat the Texans 27-22. Saquon Barkley's showing that he's the real deal. The dude never gets tackled by one defender. It's insane what the fuck that dude's doing as a rookie against veterans and just dominating. And then this one's my favorite because I hate the Packers. The Redskins destroyed the Packers 31-17. Anytime the Packers lose, it's a good day for me. And the Patriots and Packers lose on the same week. It's awesome. I love it. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is the reason we have this new quarterback rule, and I'm not a fan of it. A lot of people aren't fans of it. It's kind of ruining the NFL. I saw a crazy stat that last year, all through 16 weeks, they had 51 roughing the passer penalties all season. Through 3 weeks, there's already been 34. That is fucking insane. That is nuts and insane, and I'll get back more on that when we talk about it, Monday Night Football game when we get there. So Redskins, Adrian Peterson's looking like 25, 26-year-old Adrian Peterson, just shredding people, getting in the end zone, killing my fantasy team for me. I have him in multiple leagues. A lot of people didn't think he was going to do anything, and I drafted him late. It's worked out. Yeah, that's right, London. You're right. So good. Keep it up, AP. Keep me and my buddy go back and forth. He says, "Oh, running backs aren't shit after they're 30," and that dude's out there trucking people and dominating. So the more that happens, the more I'm right. So I'm happy about that. The Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, man. Dude, 13 touchdowns, no interceptions, the most touchdowns in the first 3 weeks in NFL history, more than Tom Brady, more than Peyton Manning, more than anybody, the most in NFL history. And he's thrown touchdowns to 9 different receivers. 9 different receivers. That's insane. So keep it up. I just traded for him actually in one of my leagues. I don't know why they would trade him away, but they did. And so I'm happy about that. So hopefully he can keep it up for me. And so, yeah, the Chiefs move on. They look like the best team in football. Yeah, their defense is not very good, but their offense, I don't think anybody can stop it. And I feel bad for the 49ers. They lost Garoppolo for the season. I like Garoppolo. And we'll see what happens there. I'll see who they get to replace him. Tony Romo came out today and said, "Hey, I'm healthy enough to play quarterback," kind of like saying, "Hey, pick me up." So we'll see what happens with there. I think they'll trade for someone like Teddy Bridgewater, etc., etc. We'll see what happens. But if they get if the fucking Saints get a first-round draft pick for Teddy Bridgewater and we gave him away for a third, I will not be very fucking happy. I'll tell you that much right now. The Dolphins versus the Raiders. Dolphins undefeated, beat the Raiders 28-20. Again, the Raiders had the lead pretty much the whole game, and then they gave it away in the fourth quarter like they did with the week before with Denver. The Raiders can't finish a game. I don't know what's going on with them. They need to get it together. I like John Gruden, but I feel like some of the moves he's made have not been very smart, and it's shown on the field getting rid of some of those players they had. In my opinion, the best game of the week besides the Monday Nighter was the Colts versus the Eagles. Came down to the wire. Luck had a chance, took a sack on fourth down. You can't do that. You can't take a sack. You throw the fucking ball up. You know, no matter what. No, you got to know that. I don't care what's going on. You got 5 people at you. You throw the fucking ball. You can't take a sack on fourth down when the game's on the line. So the Eagles get a win with Wentz's first start back. Their offense still doesn't look like it did last year. So we'll see. Give them a couple weeks to get back into speed. They still don't have Alshon Jeffrey back. But I think that the Eagles will bounce back to what they looked like last year. The defense kind of still looks all right, but they still don't look like the team they did last year. And they always say that Super Bowl hangover, it's hard to overcome. Titans versus Jaguars. This one surprised me the most because, besides the Bills game, but, Jaguars dominated the Patriots the week before. Then the Titans. I mean, the Titans have played good football all season as well so far in the short season. Titans win 9, Jaguars 6 in Jacksonville. That's why I'm so scared for this Jets-Jags game because they got beat at home on an ugly outing, and now they're playing the Jets at home again, so they're going to try and get some redemption. Of course, it's got to be against my team. Of course, my team gave up a loss to the fucking Browns for the first time, but if you listen to episode 2, NFL Review Week 2, I said it in the podcast, and that was before kickoff. We're going to lose to the Browns, and that's exactly what we did. So I would like to beat Jacksonville because we play a tough Denver team the week after that, so I really don't want to start off the year 1-4. So I would really like to beat Jacksonville, and Jacksonville, we'll see what happens when we have a week to prepare, but Jacksonville's going to be ready to fucking make some shit happen since they lost 9-6 to the Titans on Sunday at home. Panthers-Bengals. High-scoring game. Panthers 31, Bengals 21. Christian McCaffrey ran all over the field, but could not get in the end zone. Just could not get in the end zone. So I don't know what's going on. I like Christian, but I traded him for Mahomes because he can't get in the end zone. He's had a problem with that his whole career. So the Bengals still look good to me. Once they get Mixon back, I think it'll help them get their offense going again and at the way it was the first 2 weeks of the season. But this is why I love the NFL, man. It's just any given Sunday, any team can beat any team. Like I said, Buffalo beat Minnesota, who was the highest favored team in 15 years, and they ended up getting stomped. So The Ravens and the Broncos. Broncos came into this game 2-0. The Ravens got their ass kicked week 1. And then the Ravens beat them 27-14. So that's what I mean. Like, the Broncos were losing to Oakland the whole game, came back and won week 2. Then week 3, the Ravens destroyed Denver. And then it's crazy. I have this problem in some of the Jets groups I'm in, but I'm just seeing Broncos fans. You start the year off 2-0, you lose one game, and your fans are saying, "Oh, let's get rid of the coach. Fucking Case Keenum needs to be benched. Put in Kelly and blah blah blah." It's like there's a 16-week season. One game in the first 3 games is not a reason to fucking panic. You know what I mean? Like, he's got plenty of time to get it figured out. I think the Broncos got a decent team. Demaryius Thomas needs to catch the ball. The dude's had drop problems his whole career. Dude's supposed to be a number 1, catch the ball. I like Emmanuel Sanders over Demaryius Thomas, but Demaryius Thomas has got the size to be a true number 1, and that's what he looks like. The Saints versus the Falcons was a really good game, and the Saints pull it off in the end. Again, Matt Ryan choking in the fourth quarter. Don't have time. I mean, doesn't, that's when you're supposed to step up, is fucking fourth quarter. The elite quarterbacks step up and they do what they're supposed to do. And, he had that problem his whole career. Look what happened in the Super Bowl. They have a 21-point lead or whatever, 24-3 lead, and they fucking end up losing the Super Bowl to the Patriots. You're in the fourth quarter, that's when you win and lose ball games for the most part in the NFL. Rams versus Chargers is the next game. Rams and Chargers. Both teams are from LA, and there's nobody in the stands. I don't understand. The Rams have been dominant the last 2 years, and you still can't get fans in the stands. The Chargers, I get they've been mediocre, whatever, but still you can get fucking tickets for like $10, and you're not gonna go watch 2 pro teams from LA and show out. There was empty seats everywhere in that arena, and every time the Chargers play at home, it's an away game for them. I don't understand what the fuck it's going to take for fans to give a shit about these teams. I mean, because what's going to happen is if the Rams win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, all of a sudden they're going to be the most popular team in the NFL. But it shouldn't take that, man. Coming from Nebraska, I would do anything to have a pro football team in my state. I would go to as many games as I possibly could. Should I go to games in Denver when I can? And that's 8 hours away from me. You know what I mean? I would do anything to have a professional football team in my home state, and these guys got 2 of them, and they don't even go to the fucking games. It blows my mind. It's kind of sad, and it's like maybe the Chargers should have stuck it out in San Diego. I don't know. They were definitely had people at the game there, so I don't get it. Seahawks beat the Cowboys for their first win of the season, 24-13. Dak Prescott's been exposed since his rookie season. He didn't look very good last year. They got weapons. They added receivers. They added Robinson, Cole Beasley. I like him. They lost Dez. They lost Jason Witten. Ezekiel Elliott hasn't really been doing anything. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys have been exposed. It's time for them to get rid of that whole coaching staff and start over again because it's been the same. It's just Seattle has no offensive line. You guys remember the Week 2 game? Russell Wilson was running for his life the whole game, and then they win 24-13 to beat the Cowboys. And the Cowboys just need to hit the reset button, I believe. I think this will be Jason Garrett's last year unless they can all of a sudden start winning a bunch of games. But I don't see that happening. Their offense is non-existent. They haven't scored more than 20 points all season, I don't think. The Steelers versus the Buccaneers. That gets me to the Monday night game. The Steelers versus the Buccaneers. Listen, I was just like half of you guys, or maybe more than half. Halftime comes. Tampa Bay's down by fucking 20 points, 30-10. All of a sudden, boom! Fitzmagic goes from Fitz shitty, what he's always done his whole career, the first half 3 picks, to throwing touchdowns and throwing darts to everybody. And then that Deshaun Jackson punt return gets called back, and that's the difference in the game, in my opinion. You get a punt return, a game-changing play, and it gets called back for a fucking holding penalty. You gotta be more responsible than that. So I feel like Tampa Bay's for real. I like the decision they went with to stick with Fitzpatrick over Winston. I think Winston's on his way out of Tampa Bay. Again, that's the end of the Week 3 games. I'm going to talk about some Week 4 games. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode because it's hard to, keep going when I'm by myself and nobody else to bounce off of me. And my daughter keeps keeps messing around in the background and driving me nuts. But I gotta get these episodes out every week, and so that's what I gotta do. So with that being said, the upset of the week was Buffalo, obviously. The game of the week to me was the Colts and the Eagles, just because it was close all game, right down to one play, and the Colts just couldn't make the play. Week 4 games I'm looking forward to. Obviously that game tonight, if it's the Vikings and how they're supposed to be versus the Rams. The Rams got 2 corners out. Peters is out and Talib's out. It sounds like Talib's going to be out for a while. So we'll see what happens with that, but I like Peters. Jason Peters is a beast, but I think this is the chance for Minnesota to fucking get one over on the Rams because their top 2 corners are out for the game. Texans versus Colts, I always like divisional rivalries. The Texans need to get a win or Bill O'Brien's going to get fired. He's got the weapons there. He's got one of the best receivers in the league. And Deshaun Watson, yes, he's not back to his old form before his injury, but week 4 he needs to take that step and get it going. I like him a lot. Bills versus Packers. I think the Bills last week. I think the Vikings just overlooked them, and they were looking to this Thursday night game and didn't even game plan for the Bills. So that's what I think happened. So I think the Packers beat Buffalo, and I hope they do because fuck the Bills and screw you, Anthony, for being a Bills fan. The Buccaneers versus the Bears. I think that Bears defense is going to slow down that offense a little bit. I like the Bears. If Trubisky can make the throws that he misses, I really like what the Bears can do as a complete team. Dolphins versus Patriots, that's huge for me. I need the Dolphins to lose a game, but I also don't want the Patriots to win a game, especially if we lose to Jacksonville. But either way, if they tie, I'd be fine with it. How about that? I want the Dolphins and Patriots to tie. That would be the perfect ending for me. Lions Cowboys. I think the Lions beat the Cowboys and get 2 in a row and go to 2-2. Bengals versus Falcons. I think the Falcons beat the Bengals. If Joe Mixon plays, I think the Bengals win. If Joe Mixon doesn't play, I think the Falcons win. Jets versus Jaguars. I got to take my Jets. I'm going to take my team. I have to. We'll see what we look like with having a full week to prepare for a team instead of having to prepare for 3 teams in 11 days. Like I said, that's a hard thing to do for any team, let alone with a rookie quarterback and shit like that. You know what I mean? So I think with us having a week to prepare for the Jaguars, I think we'll look a little bit better. We'll be more consistent on offense, and our defense will know what to do with having a week to prepare. Because like I said, when week 1 came, we looked like the best team in fucking National Football League. We haven't looked like that the last 2 games. So we'll see. If not, then we're in trouble. I mean, if we get our asses kicked in Jacksonville, even with the week to prepare. Todd Bowles is already on the hot seat. So only because our team just consistently has penalties, consistently shoots himself in the foot, and consistently does stupid shit, and they don't adjust very well at half. So we'll see what happens. I need a big win for my Jets against Jacksonville at noon. Eagles versus Titans. I'm going to go with the Eagles just because Wentz will be back for his 2nd week in a row. The Titans got a great defense, but I just think the Eagles will be too much. And it's rumored that Jeffrey's going to be back this week. It's not confirmed, but there's talk that Jeffrey will be back this week. Also, the Dolphins-Patriots game real quick. Josh Gordon might not be able to play. His hamstring's causing him a lot of problems still. If he plays, I think the Patriots win. But if not, I think Miami wins. Browns versus the Raiders. I think Baker Mayfield's going to get 2 wins in a row for Cleveland, and that's probably hasn't happened in 10 years since they didn't get a win in 2 years. So God only knows what Cleveland will do if they win 2 games in a row for the first time in however long. So I like Baker, and if you guys watch my stuff from the past, before the draft, I said I wanted Baker to fall to us at number 3. The dude just got swag. And, I'm happy with Darnold. There's nothing I can do about it now. Hope he pans out. He looks all right. I mean, he doesn't look like completely lost out there, but I really wanted Baker. The team, the minute he came in the game in that second half, his team rallied around him, and they were fucking making plays. They were playing hard. They weren't giving up. Like when Tyrod was in there, they were just moving slow, just robotic. When he came in there, they just fucking lit it up. Cardinals, Seahawks. I think the Cardinals go to 0-4. Josh Rosen's getting his first start. Seahawks win their 2nd one in a row. Saints, Giants. I expect the Saints to win that just because they're a way better team than the Giants. Eli Manning's got no time. Eli Manning has no time at all. 49ers versus Chargers. The Chargers win because the 49ers lost their quarterback for the season. Yes, London, you're right. Yep. The Ravens versus Steelers. Rival, big rival. That's one of the best rivals in football. I think the Ravens beat the Steelers. Listen, I argue with my uncle about this. Well, we didn't really argue. We talked about it, but, we were disagreeing. We had a disagreement. I think if the Steelers had Le'Veon Bell, their record would be, completely different. They beat Cleveland. That Kansas City game probably would have been the same. But I think they beat Cleveland, and Big Ben wouldn't have to throw the ball 50 times a game. Yeah, Connor's making plays, but he's not consistent like Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell was consistent. Every time he touched the ball, he was getting 4 yards a carry no matter what. Chiefs-Broncos, I think the Chiefs beat them by double digits. I don't think anybody can keep up with that offense in Kansas City. They're just lights out, bro. The dude's got 13 touchdown passes and no interception. He's going to throw a pick. It's going to happen. He's going to throw more than one pick. There's going to be a couple games when he throws, no touchdown passes. But the way the dude's lighting it up right now, like that one scramble he had where the dude was right at his fucking face at the a second after he got the ball. He ran to the left, he ran to the right, and he threw a fucking dart across his chest and fucking dropped a dime for a touchdown. Insane, bro. Insane. As a second year player in the league, first year starting. Did any of you guys out there see the video the NFL dropped that helped clarify roughing the passer? If not, I'll kind of try and explain it. It's hard to explain, but so they showed a bunch of clips of what not to do and then a couple clips of what to do. And of course, they didn't use Clay Matthews because side note real quick, I feel bad for Clay Matthews, man. That dude can't even fucking breathe on a quarterback without getting called. It's insane. I mean, every hit he makes, it's clean, dude. It's clean. I don't understand how they expect these athletes running full fucking speed, some of them 275 pounds, some of them 300 pounds, to stop on a dime and not put their body weight on the quarterback and pull them and twist them down and, hit them from the side and shit. If you remember in the Saints game, one of the defenders had a clear shot at Drew Brees. And he barely grabbed him. He grabbed his jersey and Drew Brees spun out of it. If that dude could have fucking full-on hit him, that play wouldn't have. They completed it for like a first down on a huge third down or fourth down. I can't remember exactly what it was. But if he could actually hit that dude, there's no way that play happens. So that shit's going to be happening all season long where a dude's going to have full range to hit a quarterback and lay him out. And he's going to lay up and they're going to complete a pass or they're going to get away. You know what I mean? Like, even in that Tampa Bay Steelers game, the dude from Tampa Bay hit Big Ben and he's like, my bad, I'm sorry, and helped him up, and the ref still threw a flag. Like, he's like, I tried to stop. What do you want me to do? They can't get these athletes. You gotta look at it from both sides. I understand. If the quarterback goes down, the ratings go down. If Tom Brady gets hurt, no one's watching Patriots games. If Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, no one's watching Packers games. I understand that. And I understand the quarterback's the most important position in football. But let's use the Miami-Oakland game, for example. Their second best defensive lineman in Miami slowed up to hit Derek Carr softer and not get a penalty and tore his ACL. He twisted his foot in the ground because he was running full speed and stopped. So it doesn't matter if we hurt defensive linemen because they're not the quarterback, right? That's what I mean. Like, it's bullshit. Just put flags on them at this point in time. Just put flags on the quarterback, and you got to get their flag and the play's over. Because if you hit them clean, you're going to get flagged for it. Look at Clay Matthews. And like I said, I hate the Packers. But I'm not going to lie and say that dude, you know what I mean? But at the same time, Aaron Rodgers is the reason this new penalty is going on in the first place. So maybe it has something to do with that. But I just hate the rule. But like I said, they put out a video to try and explain it. And they showed like 700 clips of how not to do it. And then they showed like 4 clips of how to do it. So that goes to show you that, it doesn't happen the quotation right way very often. So I don't understand what they're doing. I'll still watch every Sunday. I'll sit my ass on the couch from 11:59 till 9:30 p.m. watching football nonstop. But it is going to come down to like the playoffs, and it's going to be 4th and 5, and they're going to get a sack, and there's going to be a roughing the passer, and then that team's going to win the game. It's going to happen, and people are going to shit the bed, and it's not going to be good. Dak Prescott came out and said, let him hit me more. So maybe that's good. Yeah, it was Gerald McCoy who apologized to Ben Roethlisberger in the middle of the hit, and he said, "I'm sorry." Eric Reed got signed to the Panthers, so that's good. Good to see him back on the field. I like Eric Reed. Ooh, Akeem Talib's having ankle surgery, so that's not good. He's going to be out for a while. I'm not a huge fan of him, though. He's kind of arrogant and a cancer in the locker room. But that's about all I got for you guys today. Follow me on social media on Twitter at Cole Sharf, or it's my time now. 18 is my handle. On Facebook at Cole Sharf. On Instagram at Cole Sharf. You can hear the podcast if you're watching the video version on Apple Podcast, SoundCloud, Spotify, everywhere they play podcasts. You can hear my podcast. Before we go, I can't forget about this. I want to thank my sponsor, O'Hara Exteriors, LLC, one of my siding, windows, gutters, and roofing. Anything you need, give them a call, 402-213-3289. Tell them you heard it here on the podcast, and they'll hook you up a little bit. I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, we're growing every week. We had some problems last week. I'm trying to get these review episodes out on Tuesdays, but I had some problems last week coming back from Texas. Then we had problems. Anthony had some stuff going on. I had some stuff going on Tuesday night, and he had some stuff going on last night. I really want to get this down and unpack so you guys have it whenever you want it. Again, I appreciate the support. Tell people about us. Tell people where you can find us. Subscribe, like. Give me some comments on what I can improve, what I can do better. Again, if anybody wants to come on and talk about their team or whatever, let's do it. Come on, just get a hold of me. Anybody's welcome. I don't care who you like, who you root for, what you know what I mean. I want this thing to grow. I put in a lot of time and effort, and it is growing. But I'm ready for it to go to the next level. I know it takes time, but I'm just ready. And all it takes is a couple minutes, couple seconds out of your guys' day to click the like button, click the share button, click the subscribe button. On YouTube, Cole Sports Corner Podcast, all my all my previous episodes of everything I've done. I also do a wrestling podcast with my co-host Mike Messier called What Have They Done to Our Sport? We're kind of on a hiatus right now because we're working on some new artwork and a new opening and a new format to the show, but we will be back next Monday for the first episode of that. We're catching a lot of steam with that podcast. I want this podcast to be on the same level all the way. Football is my number one passion. Any level, I can sit down and watch a football game at any level, anytime. So again, thanks guys. Put the word out there. Subscribe, support, share. London said goodbye. Thanks. Oh, here, I'll show everybody real quick. This was the co-host today. All the screaming in the background. You can see her. Say hi, London. Wave. Say hi. Say hi. Hi. All right, thanks, guys. Subscribe, listen, share, tell everybody about it. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Hope you come back next time.
Yes, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. We really appreciate it. All of my past podcasts and future podcasts are available on YouTube at Cole Sports Corner Podcast on YouTube. Also available on the Anchor app. You can go there. All you gotta do is type in Cole Sharf, and all my links will be right there on my profile page. Also available on Apple Podcasts under Cole Sharf as well. Subscribe, like, tell your friends about it. We really, really appreciate it. Like I said, we're growing. So the more we grow, the more we can do. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you.